sense and a really good foundation about. He's humble. He knows it's not all about him. He just said, "Stop." I said it's been easy. 3 years, same offense. It's great. And he's like, "Stop saying easy."
Right.
He seems like a really well-tempered kid.
Yeah, he gets it. He does. He works hard. He's a good teammate. He understands the process. He does it the right way.
You're a Sacramento guy.
Kind of.
Having been there, yeah, you spent some time in Sacramento, but having been there, you know, he's a Folsom kid.
Yep.
He said that you spent some time in Sacramento. I mean, how important is your relationship as a head coach, and I know it's with all your players, but with your quarterback and recruiting that position well, because it doesn't seem like everybody does that.
Yeah, I always say this, it doesn't matter if you're talking about Pop Warner football, NFL football, you have to get that position. You got to be good to win championships at all positions. But the one thing we all know is that the quarterback's not right, you got problems.
Yeah, talking to Chris Peterson from Washington. Have you found what you thought you would find at Washington? Because you didn't have to go to Washington. And I remember when you did that. I mean, there were people who were stunned that happened. Did you find what you were looking for?
Yeah, I certainly did. A whole new challenge, and that's really what it was. A whole new challenge that was going to fit the beliefs. I mean, that's what it is for everybody. Whether you're a recruit trying to select a school or you're a coach going somewhere, it's all about it. And I think all places are not the same. They're very, very different. And so obviously, I thought Washington was really going to fit everything that I was all about. And so between having a really new, unique challenge and kind of starting from scratch, doing things the way we do them, and just the nature of what the university is all about, what Seattle's all about, it's been good.
And Jake talked about the culture in Seattle, and he likes the weather, and I mean all of that matters. But you seem to have instilled. I know it's cliche, but that group, that family, that everybody. It seems like you guys really like being there. It's comfortable.
Well, that's one of the things that we really work hard on is, and you're right, I don't even like talking. Even though we work on this culture, this process, I don't even like talking about it because it's just,
yeah.
But I do think that it's like so important at the end of the day that the guys that like being here.
Sure.
I mean, this is our lives. This is their lives. This is the most important time of their lives. But it's also the most important time of our coaches' lives. I mean, our lives pass us by. We spend so much time that it needs to be. It needs to not just be about any product of winning football. It needs to be a certain way. So we work hard at that.
Talking to Chris Peterson on the Monty Show, brought to you by Harman Solar. Defensively, were you guys good enough against the run? You look. I think your defense is really solid. I mean, you have a really good defense. But I thought you guys, and maybe I'm wrong, I thought you could have been a little better against the run last year. Are you happy with what you guys did stopping the run?
Yeah, I thought we played elite defense. We really did. I think the games that we didn't do enough offensively. I thought we played championship defense.
And your defense is really good, no doubt.
Yeah, if we could repeat what we did, last year on defense, I would be extremely happy. We've lost some really good players out there, and that's college football.
And when I say that, I just look at your schedule. Your schedule's not easy. Well, you're in the Pac-12, so welcome.
That's right.
I mean, it's not going to be easy. How do you continue to attack the weaknesses on your team? I mean, is that just recruiting? And obviously you're preaching consistency, but no matter what you do, you're going to have some difficult times,
Yeah, and you said it. I mean, that's life in the Pac-12. I mean, it's not easy. It's not easy for anybody. If you don't play your best, you're going to get beat. You're going to get exposed. I mean, I knew that coming in. That was one of the big things. It's like I knew my football life would be a lot more challenging and more difficult than it has.
Yeah. Hey, one of the things we're talking to a lot of guys about today is that the way that preparation for college kids has changed with the different one practice instead of 2 a days. The conversations around hitting and tackling and how important that is. So you talk about having an elite defense. How much do you guys hit? How much do you tackle?
I don't want to we're all about this. We've changed our tackling years ago. We practice completely different than a lot of people at least used to practice. I don't know what everybody else thinks. I think we've been on the forefront of taking the head out of the game years ago. So we haven't even really done too much for a long time.
Yeah.
So, a lot of these things are, stuff that we're still trying to get better at, without question. But it's stuff that we've been well aware of. And
why does it make you better? You're an elite defense. We just talked about this. You're an elite defense, and I think it matters on offense as well, obviously. But why does that make you better? How does that help your football players in the way that you've changed the way you prepare? How has that helped them?
more specific on your question, are you talking about our tackling, or what are you talking about?
Yeah, when you talk about the because I think you have always been different, and I think everybody says that, hey, Chris Peterson's a different kind of guy. But you have a lot of coaches who want their guys running into each other on a regular basis, physical. They miss the two-a-day practices. That's not your philosophy. Yet your teams are really good.
Yeah, and so, there's, like you say, there's a bunch of ways to skin the cat.
Yeah.
There's no question about that. We just kind of have our way. And, I think player safety is something that I still think you can be physical, tough, and if you're not going to win on Saturday. I mean, that's the bottom
Sure,
line.
yeah.
But I still think you can practice really smart, getting better at fundamentals, and protecting your players and making sure that they're as healthy as can be. And that's part of practicing and part of the strategy of the game. Is like, how do we get better and not beat them up? It's such a long season. This game is completely changed. It's year-round for these guys. And so part of it is creating a balance of not wearing them out. Yeah,
agreed. Hey, Chris Peterson, before we let you go, I want to ask you about managing expectations. You probably don't read the clippings, so you have no idea. Everybody says you're one of the best teams in the country. Everybody says, man, they're going to be really good, and Jake is this, and how do you manage those expectations? How do you keep your kids from reading that?
Well, I say yes, we were one of the best teams last year. And I think we have smart players, smart guys, that they know what people say about us good and bad on the outside has nothing to do with what we're going to do. I will say this. Our expectations have never changed from the second. There's no higher expectations on the outside than in the football. Now, with that being said, we go back to the cliche, we're not going to pay attention to the outside expectations, good or bad. I think if we do that, we're really crushing our process. I think what that does is it takes the joy out of it. You're starting to pay attention to what everybody else expects from you, and worried about that. I think that's part of the problem in our society today. So many young people and so many people are so worried about what everybody else thinks about them and saying about them in the world that we live in, on social media, it's in your face.
Yep.
If people worry a lot less about that, their life would be a lot more enjoyable.
Good luck, Coach.
Appreciate it.
Chris Peterson from